well, hey friends, it's Tracey from Tea Time with Tracey and Friends. Magda is right here. I think Boris is downstairs. I'm going to do my deck of TBR game. Yesterday or the day before, I'm taking part in Spooktober for the month of October. So I have a few books from there. I might try to incorporate if it fits, but I still wanted to do this game because it's fun to play and it just gives me more options. I'm not going to go over the books that I read this month. In September, here comes Boris. Come on, Boris. Can you come through? Come here. There. Anyways, I'm playing deck of TBR. I got this game from Becca Books and Bujo. I'll put her information down below. It's pretty much, I shuffle a deck of cards. I pull out the corresponding cards. Say it's like 6 of diamonds. This is 2 to 10. I go down to 6, over to diamonds, set in a different country. If I get a joker, I get a bomb book, which there I have beefcake because I'm taking part in the beefcake challenge this year, but I'm almost done. That's picking 10 books in the month or the year of 2025 to read that are big. And Ace, King, Queen, or Jack are more challenges, whereas the main board here is more prompts. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try not to make this super long. I always say that, and I always yammer on, so I'm going to try. I have these Alice in Wonderland cards. Ugh. There. And, okay, Boris. We're just going to shuffle them and start. I usually do 10 books. I'll probably still do that, but I probably won't read that many. We'll see. What are you doing? Are you eating something? These are fairly new cards. I think I've only used them once or twice. So, I know there's a lot of readathons going on in the month of October. But yeah, I just had a shower. That's why I'm all blotchy and creamy and shiny and stuff. Anyways, a 6 of clubs. So 6 clubs. Wilderness. Okay, I need one that's set in the wilderness. Okay, I think the one I'm going to do, I have this in Audible. I think I have the paperback, but I can't seem to find it. But it's Transcendence by Shay Savage. Anyways, this is about, I think a woman gets transported back in time to like caveman times. And this man that's living on his own, I think that his family, there was either a catastrophe or something. He's just a caveman, pretty much, that has been surviving on his own for years. And lo and behold, this woman from the future is found in one of his traps or gets caught up wherever he's staying, and he thinks it's a miracle and this is his mate and life is grand, but he can't speak. I have this on my Herkid spreadsheet, the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do by QWERTY. I'm taking part in that, and I have this in one of the challenges that she has in that challenge. That makes sense. Anyways, I don't really know much about it, but apparently it's a romance, and he's a caveman and she's a modern woman, and yeah, there's no other people around, and yeah, it goes from there. So that takes place in the wilderness. That's the one I'm going to be reading. I don't have that in my Spooktober thing, but since it's an audiobook, it should be quick and easy. Yeah, so let's go on to book number 2. Okay, I'm going to take that off. I have this little honey pot that I put the used prompts in. this big crock of new prompts. So, and if I get 3 of the same number during these 10, I have to add another book, historical. Okay, so I'm putting that 6 back in the deck because it's a new prompt. It's number 6 of spades. If I get another 6, I'm gonna have to add another one. I'm keeping track of, oh my God, 6 of spades. Military. All right, military. I gotta see, I gotta think. Okay, it's not really cheating or not. I'm gonna do the 4th book in the One True Mate series by Lisa Ledoux. I had this on my, again, Herkid thing. I just read book number 3 last month, I think, or the month before. I think there's 10 books in the series. It's a personal challenge for myself to read the whole series during the Herkid from July to July. So I'm on book number 4. This follows shifters and sometimes angelic people. The shifters of all kinds are kind of like in the military or protective police enforcers. So I'm going to put that in the umbrella of military. It's a hidden society of protectors that protects humans and other shifters and all that sort of thing. So that way I can continue on in that series, and it gets me further, and it is in a protective military type role. So I have this in audio. They were like box sets I bought when they were on sale at some point. And yeah, so I'm on book number 4, and I'll just keep moving forward with that. This, I believe it follows a man who works in parties and works in parties and works in parties because he's haunted by the death of his father. Some, you know, like, I don't know if killers killed his father or something like that. And he works and parties so hard to keep his mind occupied. The woman, I believe, is held captive or in a prison of some type, and she asked the man, I think his name is Beckett, to help her get out, and it goes from there. That's about all I understand about it. So anyways, I need to get another thing and put military back in. Another world. No, yes. All right. There. And that's the military back in this one. All right. There. So that's 2. 1, 2, so I don't lose track. And 2 6s right off the bat. I'm going to shuffle more than once just to make sure I don't get another one. But that's 2 audiobooks. So that's good. One more. Oh, 5 of spades. 5. Bleak. Okay. I can do that. Let me find a nice bleak one. Okay, I'm going to pick The Ritual by Adam Neville. I got this for my Spooktober too, and this is on my fall TBR. This follows a group of young men that go for a hike in the Scandinavian forest. They get lost. I think they find a dead body or a dead animal or something. And I think it's kind of like Blair Witchy sort of thing. They end up probably squabbling amongst themselves because they're cold and tired and lost. That's where the bleakness would come in. I do have other books, but since this will like double up on my reading this month because I have some goals I want to meet, this gets one off my fall TBR and it gets one off the Spooktober TBR. So being lost in the woods is pretty bleak. Seeing a dead body, or I'm assuming some of his, like their friends, somebody must die. I don't know if it's a monster or a person, or I don't know. So, The Ritual by Adam Neville. So, now I'll put Bleak back in. And get one out of here. Retelling. I gotta write that on my paper, so that was a 5. Okay, and I will put that back in here. Oop. Okay. 10 of clubs. 10 vampire romance. Okay. A vampire romance. Okay, I know what I'm going to do for this. Another audiobook. I have never read Allie Hazelwood, but I got the Bride, I think that's what it's called, by Allie Hazelwood from my Libby app. I put it on just, she's so popular, and I just thought I would try that because I read a lot of paranormal romances. Well, I go through phases and I do, but I thought, well, if I'm going to try her writing, I might as well try a genre that I'm more interested in. So I believe this follows a vampire woman and a werewolf man, and it's a marriage of convenience, I believe, and their factions don't get along. That's my only thing I know about it. They don't really like each other because, like, werewolves and vampires don't really get along, but it is a romance, and it follows 2 people, werewolf and vampire, so I would consider that a vampire romance. So, all right, next one. Okay, I'm going to put that vampire romance back in here for another day. Witches. Okay. And I'll put this back in and shuffle it up. Two of clubs to a self-help book. Okay. Well, that'll go for a nonfiction book for her kid and other challenges that I have to do. Any self-help book I have would probably be in audio. So let me see. Okay, since it's Halloween, I'm interested in this stuff anyways and other things. But I'm going to read Scottish Witchcraft. This is in audio. It's on the Audible Plus library. Like, I do have self-help books, but I wanted to get more of a witchy one because it's October. It's written by Barbara Michael John. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'll put it here. and a foreword by Harold somebody. Anyways, this follows this lady. She is a witch, I believe, a hereditary witch, and she's just recounting her awakening and the folklore of Scotland and the practices and how you might be able to incorporate some things into your life. And it's only like a 7-hour audiobook. So I think that I'm going to do that one, and it's kind of witchy, and yeah, I would consider that self-help, learning about culture and ways of life, either back in the day or present day or whatever. So that's the one I'm going to do. So, next. Okay, self-help goes in this crock. Did I write down that thing? Time travel. If I get that, that would have been good for the transcendence. Let me just see, did I? So, the ritual, Scottish witchcraft, transcendence. What were the other ones? I thought I was crying out loud. Retelling was 5. I got that. Witches was 10. Oh. I'll figure out what I have after, but. And then the one I just put on there. What was the one I just put on there? Time travel. A 2. Idiot. Okay. Yes, I just replaced that. I don't do time travel. Okay. It's one of those mornings. It's Friday here. It's September 26th, I think. So I still have a couple of books to read this month, whether I get them or not. They're ones I want to read and I would just push over. Ace. Play your TBR, How to Train Your Gavin, or Gavin Reads It All is what he's called now. It's a game that we do. Okay, let me get set up. Okay, so I forget how many cards they do. Is it 5 or 4? I don't know. So I pick a book that I want to read. I want to read Model Home. This is on my fall TBR. I think it's a haunted house book. And it would knock one off my fall TBR. And it's seasonal appropriate. Fourth Wing. I have the whole series. Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. I got it because my eldest daughter read the first 2 books and she liked them, and I bought them secondhand. And I think one of them is on my 25 and 2025. It's just I have never got really around to doing it, and I don't think it's really seasonal appropriate. And they're bigger books. Like this book is bigger than that book. This is like, I don't know, over 500 pages. This is probably like 200 and some. Yes, almost 300, but not quite. So, I want to read this because I want a haunted house book. And I do want to read that, but it has never come up as a priority to me, except for when I bought it because my daughter mentioned it, and I want to connect with her a little more in regards to our reading. So, I do 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 4. Must be. Now, so I open 1. Aces are low, so I have to, this one, the next card will be higher automatically, but you need to guess from card to card. So if I win the cards, I read the one I want. If I don't win, I read this one. And again, it's not the end of the world. I just was not planning on reading this book this month. So higher than an ace. A 4. Okay, so I got to decide if the next card is higher or lower. I'm going to say higher because there's more cards ahead of 4 than behind it, but it could really go either way. 5. Oh my goodness, that was really close. Okay, it all hinges on this last card, whether I'm going to say higher because again, I think there's more cards ahead of 5. but it could be whatever. 5. I don't know what you do with the tie. I'm just going to pull another card. I'm not sure. And I don't got the time to look up. I'll shuffle it and I'm going to say higher. And I'll cut the deck. And if it's higher, I'm just doing this on my knee because I don't want those to fall. Ooh, that's never happened. Okay, so I'm going to cut the deck. I'm going to say it's going to be higher than 5. If not, whatever. A joker. Well, that doesn't help me at all. I'm going to do it again. I need to look up these rules because I don't know what he used to. He doesn't play this game anymore, I don't think, but Leandra from the TBR 0, I think, plays a game like this. Well, I'll put that back in here, but for heaven's sakes, if something like that happens again, I'm going to say that I lose. If it's another 5 or if it's a joker, I'm going to say that I lose because I can't be going on like this. 8. All right, model home it is. Okay, I'll get to you next time, Reddit, but yeah, that was quite something, wasn't it? So I don't need to put anything on the board. This follows a family that moved to an African-American family that moved to pretty much a white neighborhood. They are doing well off. I believe the parents have good jobs. They can afford living here, but they're the only African-American family in the whole cul-de-sac. And I believe the people that live there are nice to this family, but it feels kind of fake. And the kids, I think there's 2 kids, maybe 3 kids, I'm not sure. They feel like there's something wrong with the house. Like it's really scary and whatever. And eventually, when they're old enough to move out, they move out and never ever come back. Because I hate this house so much because weird things are happening around the house. And they think it's haunted. And eventually they get a call because their parents mysteriously died or killed or something like that, and they have to come back and sort the house. And this is where it goes. So they're adults coming back to the house they hated in a white neighborhood, and I don't know whether it's actually haunted or if it's neighbor inclusive. Like, I don't know. So I just really like the cover of this, the green, and it'll be my first by this person. And yeah, haunted house for October. So that's my next one. And I will get to this. I will get to it. I just haven't got to it yet. So that was an ace. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I don't have to put anything back on the board because that was one of the face cards. Ooh. Okay. An ace again. I gotta set up again. I'll use 4th wing again. Okay, so I have 4th wing again, and I put Anne Rice's The Vampire Lestat. I just read Interview with the Vampire this month. I had read that once when I was a teenager. I read that in The Vampire Lestat and The Queen of the Dam when I was a teenager, or early 20s or something. Just a minute. Anyways, I want to start that whole Vampire Chronicles series all over and read the entire thing like I did for the Mayfair Witches. Yeah, just a second. All right, I just had to take a call. Anyways, yes, I want to read that Vampire Chronicles series in its entirety. And although I read it, it's been so long ago. I do remember out of Interview with the Vampire Lestat, and Queen of the Damned, this was my favorite book out of the 3. I do remember that, and I don't know why. But anyways, so this will just continue on. I don't expect to finish that series in 2025, but it'll give me a chance to move forward with it. Okay, so let's do this again, Magda, huh? That just tipped over and I can't see what it is, so I don't want to. An 8. Ooh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Randall Flagg, my crow, is out there hooting and hollering. Do you know who Randall Flagg is? Anyways, I'm going to say lower. What? Should I just say that I have to read Fourth Wing now? Because, okay, I'm going to say lower. Okay, I'm going to say higher. That's a 3 if you didn't catch that. Higher. 7, okay. All right, so I wanted to pick this because, again, I want to continue a series. This is not on my fall TBR. This is not on my Spooktober TBR. I wanted to pick something above and beyond any committed TBR, just so I can do that. Anyways, the vampire Lestat. Lestat is in Interview with the Vampire. There's Louis and Lestat. Lestat's pretty much the one that turns Louis into a vampire, and he's kind of a messed up individual in the first book. And anyways, I look forward to this because I forget the story completely. So, okay, let me put these cards back. That was 2 aces. Okay, I wrote that down. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 10 of spades. 10. Great first sentence. I've never got this prompt before, ever. Great first sentence. All right, let me pick a few books. Okay, I picked some books. A mixture of books. I picked The Resurrection. This is book 3 in the Unlawful Men series, and it's a series I'm trying to finish, hopefully by the end of the year, maybe not. I read the first 2 books, and there's 2 more books to read. This is book 3. It's like criminal mafia. I can't really tell you what this is about because it's the 3rd book in a series, but let's see. This is by Jodi Ellen Malpez. Okay, so chapter 1. I don't know why I'm smiling. That's it. I don't know why I'm smiling. Okay. Whatever. Schrader's Chord. This is about a haunted record in a record store. I believe the man that owned the record store died and his son came to, he was left the record store and they found a locked record, and I think it awakens demons or something like that. This is a horror. So, by Scott Leeds. Look at that red cover in there. Schrader's Chord. Is that what it is? I don't know. There's the prologue. I'll just go with that. Louis Goodwin sat in his car and waited for the sun to go down. Alright, that's not all that. Maybe let me see chapter 1. If it's any better. Part 1. I've got bad news in my pocket. Charlie Remnick thought. That's a little better. So I'll go with the chapter 1 quote or sentence. Hampton's Heights. I don't really know much about this except it I think it takes place in the 80s or 1987. A middle school paperboy works. I'm familiar. I don't know if it's on Halloween, but creatures come out at night. And it's so short that I just don't really want to know. It's a cool cover too. The van. Later, when we talked about that night, the boys would say that the van must have been cursed. Ooh, that's a pretty good one too. Those two are better than that one. Ronald Kelly, this is an old book. Pitfall, it's a werewolf horror. I don't know when, like, the yellow pages and stuff. I actually got this on Kindle too, but I'd like to read the old paperback. 1990, that doesn't seem very long ago to me, but I was a teenager around that time, so. Anyways, Pitfall, werewolf. A prologue again. Shadow felt it rising from the valley like a tangible mist. That's not too bad. Let me just see what chapter 1 is. Part 1. Blood sport. Bully boy closed in for the kill. This is medium. I gotta think on it. And then last but not least is Silver Nitrate. My eldest daughter, read this too and she liked it. And she read the Mexican Gothic book too. I don't have that one. I think I have it in Kindle, but anyways, it's a horror, I believe, of I don't know if it's a haunted filmmaker film or something like that. I'm not sure. But I bought the secondhand and it's large print, so it's going to be super easy to read. If I read this one now. I do like myself some large print, I've come to realize. Opening title. An engorged yellow moon painted the sky a sickly amber hue, illuminating a solitary figure. That one's pretty good too. Let me think on it. I can't really decide, so I'm going to go with the werewolf one because I don't have any werewolf books on. Well, I kind of do with Bride, I guess, but I've had this book for a few years and I'd like to read it. And you can see there's a wolf howling at the moon, and it's not like a romance or anything. It's straight up werewolf horror. So I'm going to go with Ronald Kelly's Pitfall. I don't really know much about it. They call it Dubois something vicious black furred beast that fought in a pit with the raw, furry, and savage ferocity of Satan himself. From their owners, they were a lucrative investment. Must be dog fighting or something. For the people of Sulphur Springs, Texas, they were the best entertainment they had in a long while. For Bowie Kane, they were the darkest nightmare come true. He alone recognized the dark and ravenous evil that his Appalachian, I guess, ancestors had foretold, but Bowie Kane was an outsider in Sulphur Springs. No one would listen to his warnings, and now it was too late to avert the rampage of carnage and terror unleashed on the unsuspecting town. So maybe these dogs had enough of this dog fighting and decides to turn on their owners. Rightfully so. Let's go. Let's go. So that's the one I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to put the great first sentence in here. And get one out of here. Continuous series. That's always a good one to get. I think I have a couple of those in here because I always have series to continue. All right. Put that back in. There's so many books I want to reread too. Like, so many. many is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 2 more. Joker. That's beefcake. I gotta see if I have any left on there. Just a minute. Okay, I'm down in this little box now. I only have 2 books left. Toady by Mark Morris and Last Days by Adam Neville. Both of these do not have an audio, so that's fine. I want to read them both. I've already started Toady, and I haven't finished Toady, and it's been a very long time. And I'm okay with either one of these. So let's put it up here. Oh. Well, you can't really see it all. I'm sorry. I'm just going to do this, though. Let's see. I don't know why it doesn't make a noise. Oh, I forgot to, there's an extra spot there. I've come to realize that's why there's an extra thing. Maybe I'll just do it here so you can actually see the whole thing. Okay, Toady by Mark Morris. I have that book downstairs. I'm not going to go down and get it. It's a big old thick paperback. I've read about 250 pages in it or something like that. There's about 500 pages, so I don't think I'll start it all over because I will just kind of refresh myself. It's been a little while, but I really, really liked it. It's just when I started that, it was in summer last year, and I read some earlier this year, so it hasn't been too long. It's probably been about 3 or 4 months since I've read into it, but I don't know. And I really, really like it. I just haven't got a chance to fall ass over tea kettle in it, So, Toady by Mark Morris, and it takes place in January. It's in the UK. Ouija board, a group of like young teenagers, and yeah, that's what it is. Oh, I gotta stop this. My battery's is dying. All right. Okay, so I just have one more. If I do finish Toady, I'll just have one book left on that beefcake challenge, which will be fabulous. Because there were some chunkers in that, but I've worked my way through them. Okay, last but not least, 8 of clubs. 8. Set in the past. Okay. Set in the past. Okay, I think I'm just going to pick this because I'm too lazy to go fishing around. This takes place in 1987, which again does not seem that far away from me, but in reality it is quite a ways away. I was a child, an older child at that time. Anyways, I grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and beyond, obviously. But this is on a cold winter's evening, 1987, 6 middle grade paperboy boys wandered an unfamiliar Milwaukee neighborhood selling newspaper subscriptions, fueled by their stupid manager Kevin's promise of cash bonuses and dinner at Burger King. But the freaks come out at night in Hampton Heights. Sigmore, who was bused to a white school, is paired with Joel, a white kid who idolizes black culture. Mark, who is wrestling with his sexuality, joins his secret crush. Ryan, who has a crush of his own. Nisha and Al are outsiders. One is a second-generation immigrant. The other is a poor kid in a rich school. And, yeah, anyways, I think the freaks come out at night in Hampton Heights, and there's a werewolf, and some monster down here, and there's it's not Burger King, but looks like a Burger King sign. Kids can be bribed with all manners of like food and takeout and stuff like that. Coming from a mom of 6, I get it. Anyways, yeah, so it's a horror. It's not long. I didn't want to get a great big chunker on because I do have a few big books this month, and I have other books for Spooktober. So that's my 10 books. I believe that's 10. So I'm going to end that here. What are you guys reading this month? If I veer from this TBR, there's a good chance that I might, because I do want to read and reread a lot of books that I love. I mean, I read horror all year round anyways, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I have a few audio. I have one nonfiction, self-help, and yeah, I doubled down with The Ritual, so, you know, I have to read that anyways. So, with that, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose, but if not, that's okay too. I still love ya. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, I should just put one on here, so when I put it away, it'll be all ready for next month. Received an award. Just a minute. Oh, well, hey friends, it's Tracy from later on in the day. I was sitting down to edit this video, but I can't seem to find the ending for it. I'm sure that I did one, and I can't seem to find it. I might have accidentally deleted it. I'm not sure. But I just wanted to not leave you hanging and say goodbye to you. So I hope you all have a happy haunting reading time in October, and thanks for hanging out with me. And there's Boris and Magda. But yeah, with that, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose, but if not, that's okay too. I still love you. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, okay, guys, with that, I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning. And I will see you next time. Bye. Boink.